The only way to see it is by being present and having the capacity to observe thoughts, to rest your attention as the aware witness. And that means that you're accessing a deeper dimension than the conceptual self. You're transcending it with your presence, through your presence. And the more that you're present, the more your system will open up for this higher consciousness to infuse your whole system with this deeper truth, this higher intelligence. And in that opening, everything that's unconscious that's held in your system, all the imprints, unconscious beliefs, patternings, unprocessed emotions, traumas, will beautifully rise up to the surface. So you can see it all, and it can all be processed like a cleansing system, a purging. It will be transmuted from density into light. There's like a movement inside that wants to be something. It wants to be this conceptual me. It wants to be bigger, better, more of whatever. And it has different movements. It defines itself in different ways. One of the ways it likes to define itself is by identifying with a position. This was a prominent expression of the self that we saw during the COVID times, where there were two clear movements. I am pro-vaccine, I am anti-vaccine. And whichever side I'm on, I hate all the others on the other side. And this triggered many people. Now, if you take any current debate, that sense of self will seek to identify with one side or the other. You see it in politics. I'm a Democrat, I'm a Republican. This is my team, my side. And by identifying with it, it feels like a sense of belonging, a strength, a subtle feeling of a me in there. This is who I am. So if somebody disagrees with the opinion that it's identified with, it feels threatened. Its very existence feels threatened. So he has to fight for it and argue and tell people why I'm right and you're wrong. And this is what lies at the core of every war on planet Earth. This sense of a me. I belong to this nation. This piece of land belongs to me. If that personal sense of me falls away, then there's a recognition. There's no separation between you and me. I'm consciousness, you're consciousness. So just like a tree recognizes that all the branches belong to it, and they're separate branches at the same time as being the one same tree. So we're separate expressions at the same time as being the same one consciousness. But if the tree were to think that each branch was not belonging to it, then it might want to chop off some of the other branches that it didn't like how they looked. Maybe the branch is a different color and it decides that color is the wrong color. This is the superior color. And whenever this sense of me feels threatened, it fights for its life. So in order to be able to sit here and listen to these words, there must be at least some glimpse or recognition of something deeper that's here, or some interest in that. Otherwise, that sense of me would feel very threatened by these words because it's being pointed out. And it doesn't want to be seen, doesn't want you to see it, because that will bring about its timely death through the recognition of you seeing it for what it is and you recognizing your true nature. So once you become aware of how it functions, you'll notice its resistance mechanisms that it fights against any seeing of higher consciousness. The fight will happen in a unique way for each of you. And it knows you so well that it knows exactly which thoughts to produce, to poke at you, to grab you, to get you in a little net. The only way to see it is by being present and having the capacity to observe thoughts, to rest your attention as the aware witness. And that means that you're accessing a deeper dimension than the conceptual self. You're transcending it with your presence, through your presence. And the more that you're present, the more your system will open up for this higher consciousness to infuse your whole system with this deeper truth, this higher intelligence. And in that opening, everything that's unconscious that's held in your system, all the imprints, unconscious beliefs, patternings, unprocessed emotions, traumas, will beautifully rise up to the surface so you can see it all and it can all be processed like a cleansing system, a purging. It will be transmuted from density into light. And that's an ongoing process that happens in time and space on a level of form, which brings about deep healing and transformation in your external expression. Because a shift happens where you're no longer living as that conceptual me that's constantly fighting for its life, fighting to uphold the me, but you become an empty vessel which allows higher consciousness to express through you. And the nature of higher consciousness is divinity. That's what we all are. So it's an infusion of unconditional love. Now, you don't need to stop the movement of the conceptual self that's trying to fight for its life, that's trying to identify as something, as a me. The only thing that's required is to see it. Just by seeing it, it starts to lose its power over you, starts to lose its grip, and it weakens. And eventually it falls away.